Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and welcome back to another episode of Rank 'em, where I choose a topic and I rank it whatever it is, whether it be characters, weapons, games, you name it, I'm gonna rank it. And this is kind of a personal thing, and for those of you, you should not be so surprised that this took some time to get to anything, but you knew it was coming. And, well, today we're ranking the Street Fighter characters. As you guys know, Street Fighter is one of my all-time favorite franchises, and yeah, I probably should have gone with episode 1 with this because that would have been something I think people would have expected more from me, but Resident Evil is also my favorite franchise of all time. Well, tied with Metal Gear. So, you know, but I realized, you know what? I gotta do it. I gotta do this. I gotta rank the characters from these games that I love. And as you can tell from the tier listing that we have, Shoryuken is like the best of the best. It's like GOAT status. Hadouken is great. Sonic Boom is good. Kikoken is meh. And Gadoken is the worst of the worst. So here we go, guys. We got a lot of characters to go through. And these are just the characters that like you play as, right? These are just from like the mainline series and a couple of other ones where I guess like they threw in some characters from maybe some of the spin-off games if I remember correctly. But this is essentially going through the World Warriors, you know, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, the Alpha series. They're going to go through some Third Strike stuff, the Street Fighter 3 series, 4, 5, and 6, like up to 6, and I'm going to have fun with this one. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this and let's start ranking some characters. So first off, first character, Ryu, the guy in the box, the main character. I'm going to fight against the Satsui no Haru. I always liked Ryu as a character, this whole like wandering like warrior throughout the world, training to get stronger and conquering the darkness within and just going around. I mean, they showcase that really good in the Street Fighter 2 animated movie of how Ryu is. And I do like it. I like, you know, like later on, like they gave him a beard, he travels, you know, he gets some great costumes later on. He's the all-around character in virtually every game, which is why he's so good in a lot of the games. But for me personally, do I think he's the GOAT, like in GOAT status for me? No. He's definitely in the Hadouken. Okay, I love Ryu as a character, but he is very stuck. But one of the things I do like about him is the fact that he does get his butt kicked. You ever notice, like, when you see games, you don't really see the main character ever really get hurt that much? Like, how pretty much with The Rock in every one of his later movies, it's like, oh yeah, nobody can hurt me, or I can't be killed, or I can't be defeated, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's essentially, like, the opposite of what they wrote as Ryu, because he's a character that's always learning. Right? He's a character that is always learning and trying to get stronger, and he goes up against strong characters. And I like his story and like the characters that he interacts with and who he inspires and who he comes up against in the games. So yeah, definitely Hadouken is fine. Again, this is my personal list, so it's not one that you guys have to take like lightly and get mad about, because I already had some people get mad at me for some characters I chose and some games I chose for the orders that I chose them in. So, all right, Ken. Yep, I love Ken. Ken has been one of my favorite characters for years because, you know, the fire kicks, the Shoryuken with the fire, and like how they kind of explain why he has that. Like if you ever watch Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, you know, he's a very angry child when he first arrives there, and his ki is like red hot, and so it manifests into the Shoryuken, and Goken thought that what do you call it there? Goken thought that he was using the Satsui no Haru again. So yeah, really a great character. I love his designs. I know his design in 5 is great, like in art form. In game, it looks rough, but he got a lot of great outfits throughout the years. He's a fun character. I like the fact that he kind of like is thrusted into this world of like business at one point, running a corporation, you know, from his dad, and you know, going from street fighting to getting married, having a son, and then Street Fighter 6, you know, he loses everything. He's blamed for like the terrorist incident. I do wish they did more with the story. I have my gripes with Street Fighter 6's story because there's so much there and there's so much they didn't do, but still love Ken, still top tier choice for me. Chun-Li, first lady of fighting games, right? Hadouken. I like Chun-Li. Everybody loves Chun-Li. Like, I mean, you know, thick thighs, they save the lives, right? And she saves a lot of lives. So I was never really good with Chun-Li. I'm trying to think like what game I used her in. Like I don't really use her that much as a character. And you know what? In Street Fighter V, because she had a lot of interesting outfits, it kind of made me learn how to play her a little bit. Marvel vs. Capcom 1, used her a lot in that. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. A lot of these crossover games I used her in. But yeah, putting her in the Hadouken area. Cammy. So, Cammy for me is an interesting and fun character. But for me, Sonic Boom. Which just means that, like, you know, she's all right. You know, not terrible, not the best, but she's a fun character. She's got a great backstory. And despite how everybody fucking lost their minds during Street Fighter 6 when they showed her with pants on, I still think that's her best look. Like, no joke. I think she looks the best in that outfit than any other outfit she's ever had that's not like a crossover outfit or anything. So, for me personally, that outfit from Street Fighter 6 works the best. I do love it. So yeah, she's going in the Sonic Boom. But who's not going in the Sonic Boom is Guile. Guile is, and still is, like one of my favorite characters of all time. I think he might be my top character from Street Fighter. But one of the other reasons why it is too is because he's American as fuck. He's throwing energy blades, like throwing his hands together. Just the sound alone, Sonic Boom. Like, it was so cool to learn how to do that back in the arcades. His flash kicks are fucking deadly. And in Street Fighter V, they made him a beast. God, he was unbelievable. I love Guile, but I never thought I would get good with him. And then in Street Fighter V, I did. But one of the other reasons why I like Guile in this is because Guile was the first character I ever saw in Street Fighter. Because when I discovered Street Fighter 2 all those years ago with my buddy Luke, we were at a campground. It was way up north. I think it was like in upper New Hampshire or lower Maine. And we went to where the rec center was, and me and Luke had to walk all the way down this trail, and the trail would lead into like these like trees in this wooded area, and then it would exit out. And the best way I could describe the rec center was it kind of looked like the Bates Motel. Like how it was up on a hill. It didn't look like the Bates Motel. It was like a wide barn and everything like that. But like inside they had like air hockey, they had arcade machines, pinball machines. And so, you know, we went up there and all these kids were gathered around this machine. I'm hearing all these noises and I look and I see these kids fighting, and then there's Guile on an airfield fighting some green monster looking thing, which was Blanca. So for me, that meant a lot. And I played that game from like sun up to sundown, you know? And Guile also resonates with me because he's Air Force and my father is retired from the Air Force. So, you know, that was that's kind of another reason, because like we're an Air Force family. And because my dad's so ill now, whenever I go hang out with my military buddies and everything like that, I'm the one who always represents the Air Force, because my dad, you know, unfortunately he really can't leave the house that much anymore. So I go and I represent you know, the Air Force on his behalf. He even gives me his hat to wear down there, stuff like that. So but yeah, Guile's just been an awesome character. Plus, you know, sunglasses, cool dude, fun character. Just a great character. Love him. I love his motivation. I love his dedication to Charlie, but like also how like it ruined his marriage almost. He almost lost his wife and daughter, and just a great character. Love Guile. M. Bison. Love this character. Loved him in Street Fighter V. Loved him in the Alpha series. But I think one of the best times I ever had playing with him was in like Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and yeah, Street Fighter V. He's not GOAT level for me or Shoryuken level, but he's definitely in the Hadouken. I love the character, and I think his Street Fighter V look is the best look he's ever had. It's so freaking dope. I love it. Delsin. He breathes fire and he stretches, and he's annoying as hell. So yeah, Kikoken. Zangief. Kikoken. I don't really like grapplers. And Zangief he is a fun character in certain games, but for me personally, just can't use him that well. Vega. It's all right. Really cool though in the Street Fighter Animated 2 movie. He was boss in that. But yeah, no, he's all right. He's a cool character. Got some neat gimmicks to him. He was very low tier in Street Fighter 4, I remember, but I can't remember which game he was really a beast in. But yeah, he's there. Balrog. I fucking love Balrog, so I'm putting him up in Hadouken. I loved him in Street Fighter 5. He was like, I loved the outfit, but I think he was a little bit better playstyle in Street Fighter 4. Because that's where I really got used to using him. I used him here and there over the years, but he's just great. Sagat. Yeah, right here. I love Sagat as a character. He's a beast in almost every game that he's in. They have to nerf him. And I remember someone made a mod, because like people used to call Vanilla Sagat in Street Fighter 4 a beast. So somebody modded a giant ice cream cone to be on Sagat with like a vanilla swirl, and it's just like Sagat's arms and his legs are sticking out from the cone. So funny. But I did love him in Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5, I think that was the best I've ever been able to use him. Such a fun character in that game. You know, the gimmick with the scar and the fake out moves and the shit that I pulled off, like that I pissed off a lot of my friends who were tournament level players. So Sagat's really a fun character. I love him. Blanka, Hadouken. Fuck Blanka. I hate Blanka with a passion. This character is the bane of my existence. And in Street Fighter 4, I hated him even more. He just, like, that I could not fight against him. I hated him so goddamn much. E Honda. Hikoken. Shockingly, like, I never really used him that much outside of like Street Fighter 2. But when I was playing with him, I think it was Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4, I found he was a lot of fun. I actually had like a pretty good time learning him. But other than that, the other appearance, he's just meh. So, Hikoken. It's just not terrible, but he ain't great either. Akuma. I mean, this guy is so powerful. He literally is in the Tekken world. Hadouken. He's a really interesting character. Like, there's a lot of depth to him. His fighting style is great. I loved it. I loved his fighting style in a lot of the games throughout the years. Got really good with him in Street Fighter 4 when everybody else was like trying him out. I was like, I never really played this character that much. I'll give it a go. I'll see what happens. And I took with them. And I don't care what anybody says. I like the flower main, the lion's mane that he has in that. I think that's still freaking cool. DJ. I never really liked the character at all. He's just kind of a doofus of a character, but I'm going to put him up here in higher Hikoken. Especially since, like, he would have been lower, but in Street Fighter 6, he's pretty dope. You know what? Actually, no. Fuck it. He's all right. He's good. He's middle of the road. DJ. He's fun. Fei Long. Ooh. It's a Bruce Lee character. I love my Bruce Lee characters. But, guys, I gotta tell you, like, Rekka characters are very tough to play for me. I do love Fei Long. So I'm gonna put him at right above DJ. I think that's good. T-Hawk, grappler character. Don't really like them. Did like playing as him in Street Fighter 4 for the little bit of time that I spent with him. So I'm gonna give him President over some of the OG World Warriors. Violent Ken. How can you not love this character? He's a fucking menace in any of the games that he appears in. So, especially like the last one when people really discovered, like, what was it? Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers or whatever it was. He's a monster in that. Like, it's insane, like, the shit that you can do. He's so broken as fuck. Evil Ryu. Dude, this guy ended up being in the DLC of Ashura's Wrath, and he's literally fighting Ashura on the fucking moon. Or wait, was he on the moon at that point? I think he was before, like, Akuma showed up and everything. So I'm giving him top tier. He's Shoryuken level. I really wish they would bring him back, because I know, like, Kage is supposed to be, like, the next evolution of Evil Ryu, but I think Evil Ryu is a lot cooler. Adon. Did like him in the Alpha series, and he actually was one of my early mains when Street Fighter 4 first dropped. So honestly, I'm putting him right up here. I'm putting him right up there. he was a fun character for a while, but after a while, it just seemed like everybody that I ever fought just was better than me whenever I used him. Like it's like they just knew what was coming. Birdie. Never really cared for Birdie. No. Blanca goes first. I never really cared that much for Birdie. Especially with like what they did with him in Street Fighter 5. Like, I don't know why they made the change that they did with him. I never really understood that, but is what it is, right? So Nash. I was not really a fan of him in Street Fighter. No, that's a lie. I did like him. I did like playing as him in Street Fighter 5, but I used him more in like the alpha games and in versus stuff. So where would I put Nash? I put him in Sonic Boom. I'll put him in Sonic Boom. Eagle. Dear God, when is this guy? I remember making a video long ago on the channel. I think it's been about like maybe 8 or 9 years now. And I said, like, you know, what characters should be in Street Fighter 5. And Eagle is one of those characters that would be a great character to add. And the last time he's been in anything, as far as I know, was Capcom versus SNK 2. CVS 2 was the last time. I love Eagle. Great. So yeah, I'm gonna put him above these guys. I just like how I think he's got like a cool appeal to him. You know, stick fighting and everything. Again, please, Capcom, if you do see this, if any of the producers from Capcom see this for Street Fighter, please consider putting Eagle in for DLC in the future. Okay, he's such a fun character. I think he would have great potential, and I think a lot of people wouldn't be mad if he was brought in. Maki, didn't spend a lot of time with her, so she's a fine character. So I'm gonna put her at like Kikoken level because she's, you know, more fun to play than like the grapplers and everything like that. Again, interesting character. Can't play him to save my fucking life. I tried to learn him in Street Fighter 5. Oh, sorry, Street Fighter 4 and all throughout the iterations of Street Fighter 4, and I just couldn't. And he was a pain. Oh my god, when people found out how to fucking use him and like the switch styles, and it's like, get out! Like just like the sound effects he would make, I just yeah. Yeah, like... Yeah, I gotta put him down here a little bit. Guy. Mr. Bushinryu himself. Like, this is tough because now we're getting like some like final fight stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, like what do we do? I don't know, guys. What? I do like him in the alpha game, and I tried to, and what do you call it there? I tried to learn him in Street Fighter 4, but he was really tough. Like, oh man. Okay. I think that Guy for me is gonna go with I'm gonna put him at Kikoken because I do like his dynamic with Cody. I like how they kept that like a fixture in there and everything. So, yeah, I think that's good to keep him there, right, guys? Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yep, he'll stay there. And as for Ingrid, she was in Capcom Fighting Jam. Wait, wasn't she in one of the versions of Street Fighter Alpha 3? Like, wasn't it the one that was on the PSP? I think. I didn't really care that much for her. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put her down here. Junie. I never really cared for much of the dolls and everything like that, so I guess gotta put him down here. Oh god, I hate this character. I hate this character so much. Such a pain to fight against for years. Never really understood like why people liked her so much as a character in general. And she became the Nick Fury of Street Fighter V during the Shadows Fall story or whatever it was. And I'm just like, shouldn't this be like Chun-Li running the show? Like, not this rich girl like that has money and she could just be like, you know, the Tony Stark and just fund everything and get everybody where they need to go and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, she's just a character that bothered me. She's not like an inherently horrible character and everything. So I'm just gonna put her like above Gen. Well, it's gonna upset a lot of people, but again, this is my list. So, Armika. This is gonna make a lot of people mad, but I don't really care for this character that much. I'm gonna put her above Zangief. She's all right. Like, she's you know, not terrible, but Rolento, fun character. I'm putting him at lower Sonic Boom, especially in Ultra Street Fighter 4 when they added him because he was the DLC with, you know, Poison and Hugo and fuck, who's the other character? It was all Final Fight characters if I remember correctly, but yeah, it just I loved Rolento's playstyle. He was a lot of fun, and he had that knife glitch. I think if he threw a knife at a fireball, the game would freeze or something like that. But I do like his character. I like the getup. I mean, he's from Final Fight. Love me some Final Fight. So yeah, we're putting him at lower Sonic Boom. Sakura. Okay, I never really cared for the character. I'm not gonna lie. Never really cared for her. Only time I ever really used her in any games was in Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. But in Street Fighter 5, you know, she's aged up. They give her a like. Honestly, I love her Street Fighter 5 outfit. I think it is way better, absolutely way better than her basic one that everybody knows for years in cosplays. I think this one, this for Street Fighter 5, is godlike, and I do like that she's like contemplating. It's like, well, do I really need to fight anymore? Like, I gotta start thinking of things in my life. There's got to be more to life than fighting and following around this homeless guy that I have a crush on. So, I'm putting Sakura up in Hadoken area, right about here. Like I said, I do like her, and her playstyle is a lot of fun in 5 too. So, will she make it back in 6? I think so. I think if they bring her back, because this now takes like 6 takes place well after 5, because in 5 Mel was just like this, like he was a kid at that point. He was like 5 years old, it looks like. Then, you know, Third Strike happened and Mel was young in there. We all know what happened to him, like punching Ken in the dick to make sure there was no other kids to take them, you know, the Ken Masters fortune. But you know, I do think, you know, I do think that like when she's aged up, I think we should see a newer Sakura with like longer hair. I think it'd be really cool. Because the thing with me in fighting games or just video games in general, I love when they age characters, which is what Street Fighter V finally freaking did. I mean, you can see the difference in Street Fighter Third Strike. Like, you can see changes in Ken and Ryu and Chun-Li, and Akuma as well. But like, you know, I love seeing characters age and get older in games. I think it tells us a really good story because, you know, a lot of them just kind of look the same throughout a lot of the year in some games and stuff. So I'm glad they do make the change. So yeah, Sakura goes right there. Julie, another doll. Like I said, I never really cared about the dolls in terms of like playing as them. Sad backstory. Cody, GOAT status. GOAT status. Cody is literally such a fun character in every game he's in. I don't really care for him as much in 5 for his playstyle, because I really loved his playstyle in 4. But I still loved him. Got good with them. I think his story from, you know, being a street punk and just fighting and then taking down Mad Gear and then all these other fights that he got into, going into prison, coming out of prison, somehow becoming mayor. Still don't know how he did it. really hope in Street Fighter 6 we find out a story, because there's a statue of him. I think there's a statue of Hagar. But you're in Metro City. Like, we need Cody for the DLC. But I just love Cody's character. Him and Guy, just like their backstory together and being friends and shit and going through and defeating the Mad Gear gang. All of their stories are just great. And like his was like really sad that he just kind of was like, he thought that like people just kind of forgot about him and left him behind. It's like, no, dude, you beat the fuck out of people and you were doing it so much that you had to get arrested and be put away. And you can break out of your damn cell anytime you want, and you can punch bricks. So I love Cody as a character. I would love to cosplay his Street Fighter V look, or at least even his costume for Street Fighter Alpha 3. I love that. Love to do that. Dan Hibiki. This is probably gonna blow people's minds, but I'm putting him at upper Hadoken, because Dan is such a goofball fucking character, and he's celebrated by everybody. Dan shows up in a game as DLC, you're not getting mad. You're not. You just can't. Like, he's just such a fun, goofy character with gimmicks. His backstory is absolutely amazing. So, you know, I really enjoy him as a character. And I don't know if it's true, but they said that he was modeled after Steven Seagal. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, it kind of makes a lot of sense, because Dan is kind of a fake, you know, like his whole shtick is being like kind of not good. And that's kind of Steven Seagal, you know, saying all these lies that people have caught him in for years. So Dan's just great. And I actually liked using Dan in Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter back in the day. He's such a fun, goofy character to play in that game. So, yeah. So now we got, oh yeah, we're going into, Rose. I'm putting her at, like, Kikoken. It's all right. You know, just, not, like, anything great. Although in the last game, she was really fun. But, yeah, it's all right. Part of Bison and all that jazz. And, you know, I can see the future. Yeah, pretty good character. Sodom. This is a character that I actually had on that list that I made on my YouTube channel all those years ago. I would love to see him come back, but not like obviously like in all the right ways. But he's an all right-ish character. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him next to Rose. Yeah, that works. A lot of Final Fight character. Ibuki. She's an all right character. Same thing. I'm just gonna put her right above Rose. I like it just a little bit more than Rose, but yeah, it's an alright character. Kind of goofy. He's all obsessed like with finding boys. Doesn't really feel like a ninja because of how loud she is and stuff. But she's got some interesting outfits, and people really do have a fondness for the character, and I do too. She is a pretty cool character. Alex, I love this character. I gotta put him right here, because Alex, like, I think he was one of the best new additions when Street Fighter 3 came out. And, you know, he was supposed to be kind of the face of the new series, the next generation. Obviously, it didn't turn out that way, but when he was DLC for, what do you call it there? When he was DLC for Street Fighter 5, and I was stoked. And I never really played much of Alex. Like, he was really kind of a tough character for me to play in Third Strike, but I still liked him. And I like his backstory that he has, and, you know, I do really also enjoy his playstyle in 5. But unfortunately, I think at one point he ended up becoming low tier, because at one point I just couldn't take anybody with him. Really couldn't. So, but I still love him. Great design. Got French fries coming out of his head. So yeah, Hadoken level. Dudley. I don't know where this guy is. I'm not surprised he was left out of the last game, but he needs to be on some DLC for Street Fighter 6, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm putting Dudley right up here next to Balrog in the Hadoken section, because Dudley is a beast. He and Cody were like my two mains in Street Fighter 4 when the, you know, Super Street Fighter 4 came out. So, yeah. He's a fun character. He's actually my best character in Third Strike. So, I want to see him come back. I really do, and I hope he does. Elena. So, yeah, I'm just gonna put her right up next to Ibuki. She's an alright character. I do like her. She got banned from tournaments and everything like that because of her healing thing. Because I think there was a point like you actually couldn't choose her to be in tournaments. I think she's actually completely tournament banned. So there's that. But yeah, we'll put it right there. I think that's a good one. Like I said, not for me, not really, but I still like her attitude, everything. You know, I like how she's like this happy-go-lucky, plucky character. And her playstyle is interesting. It is an interesting style. Gil, interesting boss, interesting idea. Didn't really care much for him though, so I'm putting him right here. I was shocked he was in Street Fighter V. No, I didn't think he'd be in there. I mean, when Urien got added, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but we're not getting Gil. We did. Hugo. Scary character to fight against, that's for sure. I'm gonna put Hugo right up here in front of Gil. Yeah, he's there. Makoto. I actually really like this character. I hate the fact that she's getting snubbed, but putting her in Sonic Boom. Lower Sonic Boom works. Necro. He's all right. Never really spent that much time with him. So I'm putting him down here below Gen. Remy. Enjoyed him. I'm putting him at lower Sonic Boom. Because Remy was like this game's Guile in many ways. And like he kind of threw out Sonic Booms and he's got an interesting story. Will we see him in Street Fighter 6? I don't know. I don't really feel that there's a want for Remy in that, you know. I never knew people who really cared that much for him. So we'll see in the future. Sean, the character everybody wants, and also do not have him suck, because in Third Strike he was terrible. Do you like the character? Brains under Ken. Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna put him right behind Guy. Sean is a character that I really hope does get into Street Fighter 6. I hope it's like his story is like him ending up having to protect Mel at one point too, not just Luke. Like it's Sean that's helping out, and you know he's got like a whole new move, like a refined move set, everything. Like you know, like his you know, like just take his moves that he has and like add to them. Oh, that'd be so cool. Like his hype is literally like his special attack could like literally be him. You could call it like basket barrage, where like he throws out a Hadouken, but he's actually firing out like a lot of he's picking up basketballs and doing it and like hitting you multiple times or something like that. Like that would, and like he dunks on you or something like that'd be so cool. Find a way to like import that in there, you know, that'd be dope. But yeah, Sean gets the Kikoken. Like I said, he's all right. You know, he's not the greatest, but you know, a character I do think deserves some more love. Q. Yes. I'm putting him right up here. Q is a mysterious motherfucker, man. And I absolutely go crazy for this character in Third Strike. I know he's like bottom of the barrel, low tier, but when you make those connections with his punches, man, you feel there's weight to his attacks. And people keep saying that he's G, you know, that like the president of Earth, because it seems that G is a villain. So, there seems to be some kind of connection between that. So I don't think it's him, but I think Q has something to do with G. That's for sure. But we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, Q is a fun character. Oro. Never really played that much of him, but he's a really strong character in the world of Street Fighter and kind of crazy. And in Street Fighter, 5, he uses both arms now and he cradles the turtle. He got a turtle. So you know what? Kikoken status. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, I'm gonna put him. Actually, no. I'm putting him in Sonic Boom. He's definitely in Sonic Boom. Lower on the list because I don't really use Oro that much, but he's still important to the series. Actually, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Didn't Oro fight Akuma and beat him? Like, I feel he did. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go look that up after this video. 12? You know, he's 12. He's all right. Guess I'll put him down here, essentially. Urien. Now, I couldn't play this character in Third Strike. Fell in love with this character in Street Fighter V. He was so fun to freaking play as. Plus, he gets a Resident Evil 5 Wesker outfit. Like, it's crazy. And, like, you can do the button combination to, like, he can burn off his clothes, so, like, he's without the suit. I do like him as a character. I'm putting him up here right above Balrog, but below Dudley. He's a Hadoken. I love his character. He became one of my mains in Street Fighter. Like, you know, like I was maining him a lot in Street Fighter V. He was so fun. I don't know why I was able to use him so good now. It just, for some reason, his thing just clicked with me. I think it's because some of the stuff that I could do with him would leave me like with a, like, you know, the steel skin and all that stuff. You know, it make me feel a little bit safer. So I don't know. He's just a fun character. Yang and Yoon. They're essentially the same character, but they're not the same character, but they are. They're twins. I like them. I always loved their designs, and I used to draw them a lot when I was a kid. And I do kind of want to cosplay Yoon at one point because he's got a cool hat and on a skateboard. So I'm gonna put them at lower Hadoken. They're the bane of everybody's freaking existence. Actually, I like Yoon a little bit more than I do. But yeah, like they're literally the bane of everybody's existence in Third Strike and stuff. And then if I remember correctly, I think it was Yoon or Yang. I mean, they were both good, but I think Yang was the better one in the Street Fighter 4 run, and people got afraid of him. Or no, maybe it was Yoon, I'm thinking. It was Yoon. Yeah, I'm putting up there. I love their design. I love them as characters. They're goofy characters and shit like that. So, Abel. I like him as a character. He was fun to play as, but so much they didn't really do anything with him, you know? He's just supposedly a body for Bison. And yeah, I mean, again, good fun play style. I do like playing as him in 4. But I'm going to have to put him in Kikoken. I'm going to have to put him just a little bit below Gil. The Capri. A lot of people did not like this character. That people thought this was such a bad character, and I think I was one of them that didn't really like her that much. But she was fun to play once I got my hands on her, and her backstory is pretty tragic too. Like, you know, her connection to Cammy. So just going to Kikoken and going kind of right here. Gouken. Okay, finally got Gouken in these games and stuff like that. He survived fighting Akuma, and he's a fucking beast. And I love his play style. I love playing as him. I love trying to like learn his, because he plays like Akuma in many ways, with like he's got his own flip moves and stuff. I'm putting him right up here in the Hadoken area because he is just such a fun character, and I really hope he comes back as a playable one in the future. Hakan, this guy's really, he's more obsessed than even P. Diddy is with oil. So, like, I don't know. I mean, he's all right. I don't outright hate him. So I'm putting him at the bottom of the Kikoken. Oh, God, I'm having flashbacks to the game store days. Like, so the game store that me and all my friends would hang out in, or eventually a lot of us worked at one point, we had TVs all along each side of the walls, and our buddy Tom would come in, and he would always play like the scummy characters, right? And when he came in and played Hakan, we're like, dude, shut that damn TV's volume down. Like, I can't take hearing Hakan's voice anymore. It was a lot hearing that for hours and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't like grapplers that much. Oni, such a cool character. Love playing as him. Fighting against him is a fucking nightmare, and he's one of the characters that like makes me feel like I have to learn how to fight against this guy to become a better character. I hope he comes back. I'm putting him in the Hadoken, like lower Hadoken. He's really a fun character. He's just a menacing presence, man. He's just like, I mean, hell, again, he fought Ashura on the freaking moon, man. Like it's just absolutely insane. Rufus. Everybody hates this character. Nobody wants to see him come back. I love him as a joke character. like his like how he just keeps rambling on and on and on and on all the time about stuff, and you can never really read fully what he says because there's so much of it. I like the character. He's all right, like in that aspect. So I'm putting him in Kikoken. I'm putting him just for that yeah, right before Abel. One right there. Seth, interesting boss character. They changed him up and everything now. Like, can't remember why he's a girl in the story mode. I can't remember, but he plays really cool, man. Like the play style that Seth has is insane. So I don't really particularly play that much of them, but I'm putting him in the Sonic Boom category. He's definitely belongs in there. Crimson Viper, someone who I'm really shocked was not in the last game, aside from like the Bengus artwork and stuff like that for some people's story mode. She should have been in that story mode. She should have been. Crimson Viper is very well respected, and you know, a lot of people like cosplaying as her, and she's essentially the face of the new characters that were added to Street Fighter 4 back in the day. And so I'm gonna put her right above Seth. That's what we'll do right there. El Fuerte. Look, this character. I never want to see him again because my friend Tom that I told you about, he played this character a lot too, and he would not. Oh my God! It's just because you guys know how annoying El Fuerte is. He's a nightmare of a character to fight against. He's a nightmare of a character to play. Jury. I loved her in Street Fighter 4. I don't like her in 5. And in 6, the Capcom fed into that feet fetish thing way too much, man. And no, I don't like her new design. Like, her OG design was really good. She's got a lot of other outfits. I'm putting her at right around here is good for Kikoken status. Poison. Top tier. Love Poison. I'm not really a fan of this look for her, you know? I'm not really a fan of this look for her. With how wide the bushy the hair is. I liked it long and flat like it used to be. But her outfit in Street Fighter 5, like that business one where she wears the sunglasses, that is probably my favorite Poison look. Looks absolutely awesome. Love that character. Fong. Okay. Everybody hated Fang or Fong or however you pronounce him. I don't know why people didn't. I like his design. Like, I think his design is really cool. And I like how he's like an ultimate simp for Bison. And his themes, he's got one of the best theme songs in all of Street Fighter, okay? You actually heard that at the beginning of this, so... but I don't play as him. But I like a lot of things about him. So I'm going to have to put him right above Hugo for that reason. That works. Okay, cool. Kage. Lower meh. I just thought it was kind of a wasted character, even though he became a really top tier character, if I remember correctly. Like, people were dominating online when I went online and fought against Kages. Like, they were insane, but I don't think anything's gonna come from that. I think that's supposed to be like the next level of the Satsui no Haru for Evil Ryu, but it just feels like a downgrade compared to what Evil Ryu looks like. Yeah. Colleen, the Ice Queen, she was all right. So I'm going to put her right before Fang. Kikoken's meh, but still not ultimately terrible, but not that great either. Laura. Well, everybody liked her for one reason and one reason only. She had like sex appeal out the ass. I don't know if she's ever going to come back. I don't feel that there was a lot of Laura players that really liked her at the end. So, but for me, I'm gonna have to put her like right here. Again, just an all right character, you know, some cool outfits here and there. Ultimately, did nothing for the story. Absolutely nothing. Ooh, Luke. Okay, Luke being here and all that stuff. You know. Not really well received in Street Fighter 5, but beloved Street Fighter 6. And I like his character now. So I'm going to put him at like Sonic Boom, and I'm going to put him right up above. I'm going to put him right up here near Cammy. I think he deserves the Sonic Boom spot, in my opinion. Necalli. That's a character with wasted potential. That character was built up to be something insane. Like, I thought like Bison would absorb him or something like that, you know? Necalli's going around and killing all these warriors and shit and absorbing their power, and I'm thinking, oh, Bison's going to absorb this motherfucker and finally have a complete body, isn't he? No! Nothing happened with the character. Like, he just melted into goop, and then that was it. He wasn't even a threat. So stupid. They did nothing. It's like they forgot he was going to be in the character, you know, like a character in the game. Abigail. Okay. I'm putting Abigail up here, and I'm putting him, I'm putting him here. I love the character. He's a big, stupid, giant character, and everybody hated him when he came out. I loved playing as him because I finally had a chance to do really good online, and I absolutely loved playing as him and fucking with people. People were so mad when I played him, and I didn't play him in a cheesy way either. I had some people message me back then. It's like, man, like I played tournaments, but like, you know, your Abigail's pretty good. Like, that's our fault. Like, you know, we kept doing things that we shouldn't have been doing. Like it's just so crazy because your Abigail's different. I was like, oh, well, thank you. You know, like it was nice to get messages online that were nice. You know, 11. It's just a clone cat. Like, you know, like he's like the Mokujin of this game. So yeah, like it's cool that it's still his shape and color when he takes on the form of a character from the game. That's, you know, that's really it. Not much to him. Falk, she was okay. I don't really think she's gonna have a. I don't think she's coming back for a long time. So I'm putting her down here. Love her look. Her playstyle's okay. Different. And you know what? Different's a good thing when it comes to fighting games at times. G, President of Earth. Fucking love this character. For whatever reason, this character was a character that kind of sucked more people in to play Street Fighter, and also people to come back to play. So, I'm putting G here. Yeah, and ahead of Remy. He's going here. I want to see more of this character and what he does in the future, because I don't think we're done with him yet. Something is happening with G, and I think we're going to see it either in Street Fighter 6 or eventually in Street Fighter 7. I really want to see a good story mode with him and like what he's about. Lucia, Final Fight. I liked her. I thought she was pretty a really good new. I thought she was really good for this. Again, because Street Fighter V was Final Fight Reunion. I'm putting her in Sonic Boom category. Lower Sonic Boom. Menat. Loved the design. Her playstyle was very unique and interesting, and people were getting really good with her. So I'm going to put her in upper. I'm actually going to put her in upper Kikoken. Zeku. Instant Sonic Boom. Being able to transform into like a young Strider and everything like that. Like, it's insane. And like him establishing like the Strider unit and all that. Like the Strider Hiryu that we know in the future, and like what he begins. He's a cool character, but he lost a lot of steam. A lot of people like weren't playing as him that often. I don't know if he was a good character, but anytime I used him, I loved playing. He was fun as hell. Akira. Special guest character from rival schools that made everybody go crazy. Definitely a fun character. Definitely a good choice to have in there. I'm putting her up into upper Hadoken. She was a great choice. Ed. Interesting choice. Not that bad. Kind of loses steam with him, but I'm going to put him at least right up here, because he's fun in some aspects. Rashid, the Turbulent Wind. This guy has one of the greatest Street Fighter themes of all time, and honestly, I would be doing a disservice by not putting him in the Shoryuken for me. I loved this character so much when he came out, and I love him in 6. He's a lot of fun. This is just a character that I couldn't believe in tournaments the shit you could do with him. He was going crazy. People were doing the most sickest things with him, you know? So yeah, there's that. Shin Akuma. just the beast mode version of Akuma. I'm putting him up here in upper Shoryuken because Shin Akuma is just a fucking beast and a half, man. Absolutely. All right, so now we're gonna get to like characters that no one ever really played unless you played the first Street Fighter. So like I can't even really rank them that much because there's nothing to them in my personal opinion. So we're gonna continue with Street Fighter 6. Jamie, interesting character, Rekka character, can't really use him that much. But he and Luke had their like buddy like rivalry and stuff, which they don't really play off that much, which I think is a damn shame. So I'm gonna put him in the Sonic, like lower Sonic Boom. Kimberly, love the character. Very interesting playstyle with the spray cans and how fast she is, because she's essentially, you know, the guy of this game. So I'm gonna put her on lower Sonic Boom as well. She's a good character, great addition. Manon, not really a fan of her. Decent enough character. I'm putting her right up here in upper Kikoken. Marissa jumps all the way up to Shoryuken, God tier, GOAT level, and everything. That's a good one right there. I love her. Marissa's my favorite. She's my main in Street Fighter 6. Absolutely crazy. JP, not much to do with him. I don't really care that much for him. He is kind of cool in many ways. I don't know what to see with him in the future. So we're going to put him in like Kikoken area. Lily, fun character. I'm going to put her like next to Kimberly. Like she's a beast. Like terrifying to fight against. And I don't get mad when I lose against her because it's me not figuring out how to fight against her. I do like her like that. Aki, fun character. I actually really thought she was a lot of fun. So I'm going to put her at like lower Hadoken, honestly. Actually, no. Right here's about good. And then... Yep, putting Terry up here. That is, he belongs there. So Terry's in the game now. I've been playing as him. He's great. So, yeah, have to put him there. I could not put him in Shoryuken. Terry is the man. He has been around for so long, dude. And his playstyle's great. So, yeah, that's the list, guys. That is the list of all like Street Fighter characters, essentially, like all the main ones from fighting ones, and it's insane. I thought I would have had more GOAT tier like Shoryuken characters, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this list. I think this is a very solid list for, you know, what, 35 years of Street Fighter. So yeah, it took a while to get here, and I know what you guys are thinking. You're gonna rank the Street Fighter games next, right? That's a whole nother list that I really have to sit down and go through and play a lot of the older ones at for the future. But as always, guys, please, if you like this video, let me know. Thumbs up the video, like and subscribe because it's free. In this day and age, free's a damn good thing. And, well, also let me know your comments down below on what your favorite Street Fighter characters are or ones that you just cannot stand. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Have a good one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. As always, when you comment on one of my videos, it helps out big time, and also helps by giving a thumbs up and making that video and the channel be seen itself, and it also makes me know what you guys want to see here on the channel. Make sure to follow me on all my socials to keep up on my newest videos. Appreciate it, guys. Until the next time, be safe and have a good one.